Replacing a deputy like Sergeant Bobby Schwartz is impossible, and yet his position will eventually be filled by another person willing to accept the day-to-day dangers that go along with being a law enforcement officer. Reporter Steve Shaw attended Sergeant Schwartz's funeral a week ago, and he joins us now with more on his life and the task ahead for Oklahoma County Sheriff Tommy Johnson. Steve.
Rich, the last time an Oklahoma County Sheriff's deputy was killed on the job was way back in 1935. Sergeant Bobby Schwartz's death is something Oklahoma County and law enforcement everywhere will be dealing with probably for a long time.
4 days after the gunshot murder of beloved Oklahoma County Sheriff's Deputy Sergeant Bobby Schwartz, thousands of mourners gathered at Crossings Community Church in Oklahoma City last Friday to honor him.
You don't replace Bobby. What you do is you take what he's given you. The courage that he showed, not just the day that he died, but every day for the past 25 years in his service to the community. You take away the kindness that he showed people, the compassion that he showed people, and you try to become a better man because of it.
Deputy Schwartz and fellow veteran Deputy Mark Johns last Monday afternoon were attempting to serve an eviction notice, something they'd done thousands of times before. To 35-year-old Benjamin Plank, Plank's mother, investigators say, was in the process of filing a protection order against her son and wanted him evicted from a house. Last Tuesday, a day after the murder, Oklahoma City Police Chief Wade Gourley said Plank had no intention of going quietly.
I could tell you with 100% confidence he was planning on killing any law enforcement that came to his house. 100%. It wouldn't have mattered what uniform you wore that day if you were law enforcement. That was his plan.
Oklahoma County Sheriff Tommy Johnson said Benjamin Plank was uncooperative.
Deputy Schwartz went to the back door, and as he got to the back door, that is when the shots started, hitting him multiple times.
Deputy Johns gallantly tried to shield Bobby Schwartz with his body and was hit several times. Shrapnel that clipped his femoral artery, nearly killing him, too.
How was the third deputy? Wasn't there a third deputy?
There was a third deputy.
How are they?
She is shaken up, as you can imagine. Taking her time off. And since it's involved in the investigation, I really can't speak too much into that, but she's okay.
Plank then led officers from several departments on a chase that lasted about 30 minutes, a chase that ended when Plank drove his getaway truck, which was pulling a boat, to an entrance of Tinker Air Force Base. Police tackled and tased Plank, who still refused to follow commands.
When we searched the vehicle, when the pursuit was over, there was a bag found inside the boat, and in that bag there were multiple firearms and lots of ammunition. He was definitely ready for a confrontation.
I can only imagine.
At Deputy Schwartz's funeral last Friday, former Sheriff P.D. Taylor offered another glimpse of why Schwartz was so loved.
About every morning when he would come to work to get his papers, there would be a lot of other deputies there. And Bobby liked to come in and stir up the group. He liked to maybe talk, but just bring up something about religion, politics, football, whatever.
Deputies like Sergeant Bobby Schwartz, you really can't replace, despite the 25 years of institutional knowledge, but they're going to have to try.
What you do is you take what he's given you. The courage that he showed, not just the day that he died, but every day for the past 25 years in his service to the community. You take away the kindness that he showed people, the compassion that he showed people, and you try to become a better man because of it. Morning. Good.
For the short term, 9 Oklahoma County deputies, including Joe Hager and Sheriff spokesman Aaron Brilbeck, who himself was sworn in as a deputy a month ago after working 30-plus years in TV news, will do their best to pick up the slack in a small, proud unit that's already served nearly 15,000 court orders this year.
And something that's in the back of our mind, is that going to happen to us? So, always. That is something that long ago, and when I started doing this job, that I realized that this might happen. Now, but I'm going to do my best to go home to my family, to my wife, to my daughter. I'm going to do my best to make sure he goes home to his.
The most difficult one to serve is an order evicting somebody from their home, because we don't want to see anybody be homeless. And obviously we give them plenty of opportunities, but sometimes at the end of the day, we have to kick people out of their homes. And Bobby was never one to say, hey, hit the bricks. Bobby would say, look, I'm sorry I've got to do this, but here are some resources for you. Here's where you can get some money right now.
These men are shepherds. These men and women are shepherds. We have to take care of our shepherds.
Leonard Scott is a retired Army Ranger who served in Vietnam. Outside the funeral last week, he stood post in the blistering heat, clutching an American flag.
Sir, these are my brothers. See, these police officers, firemen, they're on the line. They're on the front line every day, just like I was.
I mean, we've been, as police officers, we've been bashed for years. The past few years have been especially tough. How do you say to somebody, hey, for a very small amount of money, we want you to go and risk your life every single day? It takes a person who is genuinely committed to making a difference in their community.
On August 19th, longtime Osage County Sheriff's Office Captain William Hargraves was killed when a vehicle being driven by a 14-year-old girl slammed into Hargraves' truck. The OHP says Hargraves was trapped in the wreckage for several hours before first responders could get him out.